guys, welcome to my next class of discrete mathematical structure. Now we are talking about from past few classes and today also based on logics. Here we consider one of the topics nothing but laws of logic. This laws of logic you already studied, where you already studied basic electronics class. You had some students they may be already studying first sem, some students they going to study for second sem, etc. But those are the basic electronics one subject you have now in the first year B course. There you know that NOR gate, AND gate, other things, logical design, and also the computer science and information science engineering students simultaneously have logical design, logic design class. You have made in the another subject made in the same course in information science and engineering and computer science. And also you already studied in basic electronics class in first year. The same class we are going to consider in mathematical symbolical form of logical variables. What you know, you studied in circuit, NOR gate, AND gate, all the things. Similarly, we are going to consider what actually these laws you already used, you already simplified in basic electronics. Same law we are going to consider in logic, how to simplify symbolical form. Suppose they given statement in the form theoretical and convert in the form of symbolical expression. After that, how to simplify and to verify whether statement true or invalid or true, valid or invalid or true or false. There we are using some laws. By doing a simplification, we are using some laws. That is nothing but in this class we are discussing laws of logic. The first law is nothing but identity law. Now we have to remember all the laws, then only is easy to solve the problem. Yeah, we discussed in the previous classes how to verify whether the given statement is a valid or invalid by using tautology to construct the truth table. Similarly, without using truth table, I want to verify whether the given compound proposition is a valid or invalid. Without whatever the truth table means, we are going to use some laws of logic. With the help of laws of logic, we are trying to simplify and to narrate from hypothesis to conclusion. Or sometimes we are narrating logical equivalent means we are planning to show that for first we are taking before the logical equivalent notation. For this side we are going to consider it, trying to show that for the right hand side. Then we say that both are logically equivalent. This is we are doing analytically without preparing truth table. Then see, always preparing truth table is not easy whenever having a very huge compound proposition for left hand side and right hand side is simple, but left hand side is a huge compound proposition. Now we can't able to construct very easily truth table. In such cases we are using another mode with the help of laws of logic and verify whether the given statement is logically equivalent or not. Are clear? Therefore, by doing simplification we are going to use these laws. These laws are nothing but laws of logic. Very beginning law is nothing but identity. Identity law means P conjunction with tautology. T's tautology is logically equivalent to P. Just like you know, just recall your set theory. See, U is a universal set, okay? Intersection of set A is in A, is in U. What is the thing we get? A only, right? Intersection of A. U is a universal set. Under the value set here, what's a intersection? It's a common thing. What's a common thing is like you already know that the another thing is U. What about the union of U is a universal set. Union of A is nothing but what U. Same thing. T is nothing but our inner set. F is nothing but what actually some what about null set like that. A conjunction of T is nothing but P only. P disjunction. Union is disjunction of F. Which one is more compared to F? P. Therefore P. Just like U union of A is nothing but U. Okay. These two are nothing but identity laws. We consider identity law based on conjunction and disjunction. Conjunction using tautology, disjunction we are using contradiction. Here is contradiction. Next is domination laws. Dominating P disjunction with T. I told just now universal set, union of A. What is that? Which one is dominated? U. Like that, which one is dominated? Doctor. P conjunction with F. P conjunction with F, just like a empty set. Intersection of A complement is empty. Like that, P conjunction of F is nothing but F. Keep in mind identity law. Identity law means what? Whenever I have to use the operation, binary operation, A star E is nothing but E star A is nothing but E. Even though I have to multiply with the element, any other element, we get the same element. We treat it, this is identity element of it, like that. Even though I have to take P conjunction with tautology, we get P only. P disjunction with the contradiction I take only. Therefore, this law is nothing but identity law. Dominating means P is not a P and then T. Disjunction, what we get, which one is dominated? T. And then P conjunction with F is F, which one is dominated? F. Therefore, these laws are nothing but domination laws. Law of double negation. You already know that in set theory, A complement of complement is nothing but A. Like that, negation of proposition is proposition itself. Okay. Next is idempotent laws. Idempotent law is nothing but P conjunction P is P disjunction P is P. Not only P, we have taken one proposition say P. If you want to take Q conjunction with Q is Q disjunction with Q is Q. Commutative laws. You know that commutative law in the group in everywhere, and addition or the multiplication. P disjunction with Q logically equivalent to Q disjunction with P. Either, see this commutative law we are going to use while doing the simplification. Either write this form or this. If you, some cases we get this can also be replaced with this. See, whenever I am using logical equivalent, I told in my previous class, it is possible to replace left hand side by right hand side by left hand side. And then instead of 3 lines, if you want to use this is this also must be same. Okay. P conjunction with Q is logically equivalent to Q conjunction with P. This is true in both conjunction and disjunction. Therefore, I have taken commutative laws. Associative law. If you want to define associative law, I am required at least 3 propositions P, Q, R. Keep in mind, all 3 are connected with same connectivity. That is most of the students they are going to confuse with associative and distributive law. If you want to go for an associative law, I required at least 3 propositions. All 3 are connected with same logical connectivity, either conjunction or disjunction. Here they have both 3 propositions are there. Both 3 are connected with same connectivity conjunction. Therefore, associative law say either group these two or group these two does not matter. Yeah, same thing is possible for disjunction, but keep in mind we are expecting both the places must be same connectivity. Either group first two or group the last two. This is nothing but associative law. Distributive law is combination of conjunction. Again, we are expecting 3 propositions, at least 3 propositions, but the connectivity must be combination of conjunction and disjunction. This is a difference between our associative and distributive. Most of the students they are doing mistake for this while doing a problem. Now, if you want to go for distributive law, keep in mind at least I require 3 different propositions. They must be connected with both conjunction and disjunction. We are not expecting at a time both same connectivity. Here having conjunction, here having a disjunction. From the distributive law, this can be written as P conjunction with Q, disjunction R, P conjunction with R. Not only that, it's possible to interchange, not necessary to conjunction first, disjunction second. If you, some case, it's possible to allow for disjunction and conjunction, but not same. Now, in this case, what happened? P disjunction with Q, conjunction R, P disjunction with R. Means we are expecting through 2 logical connectivity, conjunction, disjunction, or you take disjunction and conjunction. Both the case is possible and go for distributive law. The next is De Morgan's law. This is a very, very important. Negation of P conjunction with Q is nothing but negation of P disjunction with negation of Q. Similarly, negation, once you apply the negation, disjunction becomes conjunction, conjunction becomes disjunction. That is nothing but our De Morgan's laws. Now, next is absorption law. This absorption law is a very, very much important while solving the problems. Now, P disjunction of P conjunction with Q. Please try to understand here. Here we are expecting P, here also expecting P, here disjunction, here expecting conjunction. Now this is P is observed Q, this is a logical equivalent to P. Then not only here disjunction, if you want to interchange, here this is conjunction, this is also disjunction, but you are expecting two places must be same proposition. Then only I go for distributive law. Most of the students, absorption law. Most of the students, they are confused with the distributive law and absorption law. If you want, because in the distributive law also they require both conjunction disjunction. Absorption laws also they require conjunction and combination of conjunction and disjunction. But the one thing difference between distributive and whatever that absorption law, in the absorb means two places we are expecting same proposition, but there must be connectivity, must be conjunction, combination of conjunction and disjunction. There we are going to use absorption law. What we get P. P conjunction of P disjunction with Q, we get P only. This is a difference between distributive and absorption. Again I am going to repeat, absorption means we are expecting combination of conjunction and disjunction, but two places we are expecting same propositions. Totally we have how many? Two. That must be equivalent to which one occur dominantly, that we get P. Suppose P, Q conjunction or Q disjunction with P is nothing but Q only. Don't confuse with distributive and absorption. Okay. Next is the last one is inverse law. Inverse law is nothing but you know what's the inverse. When you treated as in the group is inverse, additive inverse, multiplicative inverse. P disjunction of negation of P is nothing but tautology. P conjunction of negation of P is nothing but yeah. This is equivalent to our set theory is nothing but A union of A complement is nothing but our universal set. A intersection of A complement is nothing but what actually unity. Same. That is nothing but our inverse class. Just I am giving the coordinate between the set theory then because you already know the set theory. Okay. Now these laws must and should I remember. Whenever I just you write the name of the law, whenever we are going to use that. Not necessary to write entire formula. Because every law should have name, just you have to quote name of the law, which law we are going to use while doing a simplification in the problem. Okay, but must and should have to know the laws. The next is actually not only I am not only I required for this one. What 10 laws what are written laws of logic and not sufficient. I required another one law is nothing but law of negation of conditional. This is not included in your laws of logic, this is a separate. Along with that we are going to use while doing a simplification, we are using this also, which another one law is nothing but law of negation of conditional. What is your law of negation of conditional? It says if P condition with Q, suppose if you have P condition with Q, then prove that negation of P condition with Q logically equivalent to P conjunction with negation of P. See what we are telling that suppose P condition with Q have, suppose you take it negation, this is logically equivalent to P conjunction with negation of Q. How can you know that? You construct the truth table for this. Truth table for this one. What is your P and Q, and also I have to take P condition with Q. Now each one having a true possibility. How many primitives are there? P condition with Q 2. 2 square you get 4. If you want to construct the truth table, how many rows are expecting? 4 rows. Okay, fine. What are the 4 rows? Are nothing but 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay. P condition with Q, you know in which case is first 1 to 0. The rest of the cases what happened? True. And then I want to find out what is negation of P conditional with Q. Okay, fine. Negation of this 1 becomes 0 0 1 0. Okay, fine. And also I have to calculate negation of Q. What is negation of Q? Negation of Q. 1 minute. Negation of Q. Okay, fine. You have Q. What is the negation of Q? Opposite of this 1 0 1 0. And then I have to calculate P conjunction with negation of Q. P, this is P, conjunction with negation of Q. Conjunction means both are true, then only true. 0, 0, okay, fine. 1 and 1, what we get? 1, and then 1 and 0 is 0. Then we discussed in my previous video logically equivalent. When you say that logically equivalent, this is equivalent to this. See, this compound proposition truth to tape column, this compound proposition truth to column must be same for all possible truth corresponding truth values of primitives or components. See, observe, this is nothing but our left hand side 1. This is my right hand side of the logically equivalent. Observe what I written in the top of that 1 and this column. In both the cases, in both the column having the same truth values for all possible truth values of the corresponding components. What are the components? P and Q. From the definition of logically equivalent, from the truth table, what we say that a negation of P condition with Q is logically equivalent to P conjunction with negation of Q. I think it's clear how we get from the definition of logical equivalent. In the next step, you see, you know that negation P condition with Q. Yeah. This is logically equivalent from the definition of negation of double negation. What is double negation says? Negation of P is P. Negation of P condition with Q is nothing but, from the double negation. Must and should have mentioned the name of the law, otherwise you are going to lose the marks. From the law of negation of conditional, what is negation of P condition with Q? Logically equivalent P conjunction with negation of Q. From which law? From law of negation of conditional. Okay. From the De Morgan's law, what we get actually? Negation of P, disjunction of negation of Q from De Morgan's law. Okay. Now from the double negation of P, disjunction with Q from the double negation. See what I am trying to explain here, double negation. Okay. Means you take the negation of P is logically equivalent to what? Negation of P disjunction with P. Therefore, whenever having negation of P condition with Q can also be written as negation of P disjunction with Q. Whenever having negation of P condition with Q is nothing but P conjunction with negation of Q. These two are nothing but law of negation of conditional. Keep in mind these two also very very important while solving a problem using laws of logic. See, now these two are negation of conditional. Please try to, why they negation, this is conditional, we are taking negation. This law is nothing but negation of conditional. Logically equivalent to what? P conjunction with negation of Q. Now I taken P condition with Q, I taken double negation, simplify that, finally we get negation of P disjunction with Q. Not only have negation of P condition with Q, you have P conditional with Q. What is P condition with Q is nothing but negation of P disjunction with Q. Most of the students are confusing. Please try to understand. Negation of, just you remember this. Once you take negation, here also we get negation. From the De Morgan's law, definitely we get this. Negation of P condition with Q is nothing but P conjunction with negation of Q. Totally I have to remember 10 plus 11 plus 12 laws. Then easy to solve, simplify the given problem and to verify whether logically equivalent or not. Before I am going to wind up my class, I am giving one simple exercise. Everyone you try for that. Especially some few question paper, they already given the question is state and prove De Morgan's law. State and prove De Morgan's laws. They are going to ask. Statement means we have to, I'm going to dictate whenever we are observing my video, please write it in your one sheet and take one sheet and pen. No, what is our De Morgan's law? This is our De Morgan's law. While writing statement, if let P and Q be any two, let P and Q be any two propositions, then prove that negation of P conjunction with Q is nothing but this, negation of P disjunction with Q is nothing but negation of Q conjunction with negation of Q. You have to prove these two. Are you clear? Yeah. That's the way you have to write the statement. Let P and Q be any two propositions, then prove that. You have to write prove that for this. How to prove that? Just the easiest way to prove is what? Construct the truth table. You construct the truth table for P, Q. How many rows are expected? 4 rows. If find out P conjunction, P disjunction, find out the negation for P and Q, verify it. Definitely both are logically equivalent. You prove this by using truth table. I'll leave that as exercise because it's very simple. I already explained how to write the statement. You write the statement, let P and Q be any two propositions, then prove that this is these two results are the statement, and next you construct the table, truth table, and show it both are equal. This is a way to prove. They are going to ask sometimes for 4 to 5 marks for statement proof for De Morgan's law. Similarly, you try for associative commutative, etc. Thank you very much for listening. Next class I am going to take some problem based on